Map 16 indeed, yeah.
This is 16, right?
Yeah.
Map. So what we guys are doing today, I'm quickly explaining that to you. Firstly, Raystar is joining me. Make sure to give him a follow on Twitch and also on YouTube, Raystar's Club. He can also write in the chat and then leave him a follow. Also, mod can make !SO. So he is joining, and we're gonna analyze the last 10 maps of the campaign today. Also gonna upload that to YouTube and just talk about maybe things that we have figured out. We have done that in the past, and let's see how long we're gonna talk about that, Tom.
Yeah, presumably a lot, because these maps are... I mean, it's the last maps in the game, so of course there is a lot to talk about them. Many different lines and stuff, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and if you guys have any things that we should focus on or should talk about, make sure to say it in the chat, and we're gonna take a close look onto that. So map number 16 we have here. We are starting with a line to the left of the pole, but actually let's take a look onto the run at first, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The game might be a bit too loud.
The Kingdom of Mika.
Yeah, Mika's POV here was Kubas. Yeah, Mika also with a great start here, but actually Kubas gets a better approach over this ice slide, but of course ice is rocket science, kind of. So hey.
Except for Mika, of course. I think Mika lost it in the end, though. Kubas has a really good line. Much more grip, and then he got it back. You can see it here even.
Yeah, damn. Okay, that was already a great fight. But yeah, I mean, the first thing we could maybe talk about on this map is the fact that you approach from the left and jump to the right. That's the case because you want to minimize steering as much as possible. And this small bump here, or this small bump on the right, gives you actually the left momentum that you need to enter the bobsleigh here in the zone. So that's like the start, I would say.
Yeah, and this is one of the toughest maps, I think, in the campaign. It might look like it's an easy map, but it's really not. There are really complex challenges here. Ice ones especially. But as expected, I mean, Mika gained on most of the ice parts, so with his superior lines and better management of speed. And of course, angle and gears, that also counts. But at the end, he did go for the bump strat. That seems to be a bit slower though. So if you compare his line with Kubas, you can see that Kubas took the end much better, much superior line by him. And then, yeah, he took it from the outside, avoided the bump, and then caught it with a really nice no jump here. That is actually insane.
Jesus Christ, what is that ending from Kubas? Like,
yeah.
So what Mika did, you can see it. Mika bumped there. He canceled the slide. You see it here, or like he steers into the other direction, and Kubas just gets so much speed. Look how he flies through here, gets grip all the time, and with that he just improves, or he gets so much time. Jesus Christ, that is incredible. Like, very nice line there from Kubas, and with that he secures himself that first position. Well, in general, it's just, yeah, bobsleigh voodoo magic. You want to minimize steering as much as possible on flat ice, and also hold your steering angle in a certain way on ice. I think action key 3 or 5 is required in a bobsleigh. And then we have, of course, those bug slides as well. We can also tap the brake, but I think players are not doing that because it is a bit too hard, right?
Yeah, that's one thing, and of course you also want to focus on the other parts of the map. Not only like fully allow it on one corner. That's gonna be insane. You could do it, but risky stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Very risky stuff indeed. And yeah, Kubas has, of course, the best line. You can see Mika is ahead of him. But I think in general, this time is very hard to beat. Actually, this ending reminds me of one map from the, I think, Stadium C5, was it? Which also had like a ending to the left, but I think I'm the only one who thinks about that. I don't know, it was a...
Actually true, when you need to like, yeah. But here you could also do it on the right though, when you need to release shortly and then go full speed and then basically straighten your car and then go to the left in a better manner. That's true.
Yeah. But I mean, this map is quite hard. You want to get the best lines, and I mean, I cannot tell you too much about it, let's say like that, because it's ice. And also this tap, you could have seen it by fast, getting so much speed out of that. But this map is nowhere close of being max.
Yeah, I think you could do a lot better here still.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you want to add something. I mean, it's like all for me on this map. It's so hard to do that. Also hard to coach. I was coaching this map with the release. That release is very important to not slide out with the icy tires. But in general, it's all about getting the line on the bobsleigh and also getting this slide across.
Yeah, I can admit I did not play the last tracks in the campaign, so I hope it's fine me analyzing them. I'm just trying to do my best, looking on the replays here, on the different lines. But I think here, if you combine both of the top lines by Mika and Kubas, you can definitely gain at least 3-4 more turns. So it's not near the limit yet, but this is exactly the type of map where it's tough to get near the limit. So I think we're gonna see some improvements till then. Perhaps not the biggest improvements though.
I think so as well, and maybe also in this corner here, maybe someone tapping the brake like one more time or something, that you get some speed because a brake is getting you a speed boost. But in general, the lines look clean, especially on the bobsleigh, but Mika is just getting so much time here. Look at that, where he starts on the ice and where he ends on. Like, that's illegal. That's illegal.
Yeah, Mika only did like one mistake, I think. He may have overturned his car before the braked up here.
Yeah.
So you can see like the timing of the turn, and then he had to go for the bump. I think he did it like on purpose, which is fine. It's still a very respected line, but it's of course not the fastest line here.
Yeah.
So he lost the first place. Still very nice though, of a line.
Yeah, very good line. But yeah, I think that's all I could really say about this map. Or do you have anything more to add?
No, actually many interesting tracks coming up front, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, this is probably one of the hardest tracks, but also yet one of the hardest.
Yeah,
one of the hardest, and one of the ones that I can say the less to, not one of the hardest and one of the hardest. What am I talking about? Oh man. So let's go with 17. Yeah, the second map in the red campaign. There we go. Edit. Let's see who's in there. We already see the road taker. Yeah. So that gives us a hint what kind of map style that is. Maybe.
Yeah, and a good campaign needs a good dirt track.
Yeah.
That's like a rule now.
Oh, this map was actually not easy with voice commands, and in general, this map looked quite hard. And also has a potential cut, or like potential cuts that people wanted to figure out. I'm not sure if it's working or not. Let's follow Shadow Prancer here, going into that corner. So important to hold 4th gear on this one. And
yeah, the whole map basically here is it's really dirt and jumps, so it's really about trying not to jump too much, not to jump too high. So again, low airtime is key. You don't want to have too much airtime. And then small steering, like really gentle steering on the dirt. You can see it by any of the players here, like all of them, and then you can gain yourself a better time.
Yeah, and that's like one of the common rules on dirt. Steer as little as possible, and if you do, you want to steer in a certain angle to not like to let your car accelerate. And you can see it why they jump so far up into the first funnel here. Is the fact that they actually want to steer as little as possible, because the block is wider here and they get a better approach from the bottom, or from the top compared to the bottom, as well as here. Look, they approach so far up to firstly get this one good and also stay in their gear and don't oversteer, because you don't want to lose the gear, because a lot of the people, and also me included, I had issues with gearing up right here. You know, just before the turn, and that is not good, because then you're gonna crash and lose a lot of speed, because a gear up when you steer is losing you a lot of speed.
True. And also this map kind of forces you to think in a 3D kind of way. Like, so it's really, you need to think above 2 dimensions, you actually need to think in 3 dimensions this time. So you need to think about the curved tops right there, and you talked about that you wanna aim to the high position there on the curves.
Yeah.
So you also have more time coming down, so it may look like you're driving too much distance, but the opposite is actually true, because then you gain so much more speed for the upcoming parts. So you actually want to go for that because of the speed.
And the line is still very direct, as you can see. You know, you like jump up and go immediately down. You know, it's not like a bad line. But holding the gear here is key. Let's say like that. The gear is very important. And then also this line here can be very hard to nail, to not get yourself airtime over this one, because I usually went to the right here, yeah, and not to the left. Getting airtime here is very, very easy to get, yeah.
True. So it's really, again, the gentle steering you want to do. You really, if you do it too much, also the turns before, I think it was like a 12 seconds about.
Yeah.
You really don't want to overturn this, like a small gentle steering there, even small taps, if any, then just to make sure you don't overdo it. I think it was somewhat here. After 12, yeah, exactly. So small taps you see, and that's it. the moment you start doing more than tops, it starts to go into a turn, and then you lose a lot of speed. And then it's like a long stretch afterwards, so you keep losing speed, so that's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a full speed dirt map, kind of, but kind of not. It's hard to really categorize that map, right? Because you're fast and you have to hold your speed, but on the other hand, it's so technical as well, you know? It's the mixture. It's a good, and for me, one of the best dirt maps. And I think also
Yeah, it's a good map.
Very fun to hunt, I think.
True. Very good map, very nadeo-ish kind of style. Also,
Yeah.
welcome Cam, hello.
And yo, Cam, what's up, man? Also here, this part you can go a bit lower due to the reactor boost. Of course, you want to minimize steering as much as possible. You can also go a little bit over the corner here. And then, of course, be straight in the loop and get this line across here. Can get a bit of grip here, actually, on this beam part. Just a little bit. And then get yourself also better alignment over this part and land smooth and there for a good turn. You can see that it's working out quite well here for Zodiac, making up one placement at the end. I mean, that's...
Yes, and also the finish is kind of like a mini jump there. So of course you would like to even then make sure you don't jump too much. But
Yeah.
that's really little though of a difference compared to the other parts of the map, obviously.
Yeah, true that. But I mean, a good map, and definitely a map that I will hunt when I have my pad back. Is it also a map that you would like to hunt with the keyboard or not?
This for keyboard looks a bit tricky, but still doable, I think.
Yeah.
Although it's there, like the start, I think is still very fair. I think you gain some speed before your turn, so that's making it fair. And then for the upcoming parts, I think it's still fine to hunt. So that's nice.
Yeah, especially
But yeah,
the ending.
not much more to say about this track. I
Next
think map 18 is the biggest meme track in the entire campaign. So maybe if people want to see some memes.
Let's see here. What meme track are you talking about? Oh wait,
Yeah.
that's the wrong folder. There you go. 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Confirm. Edit. Yeah.
Yeah. So here you have the first place. He's called Bonko. Bonko wins with the bonk. So Bonko and the bonk is our fairy tale for today. And that's actually a nice coincidence, but it's also faster. It's also faster to bonk here on this map. Maybe you want to explain it later here.
Yeah. But I mean, Amaterasu is not even in the top 5 anymore. Yeah.
Shame. Now you can come back though.
Yeah. Vex. Okay, so let's follow here Bonko and let's see what he does. So first of all, water, better to use action keys there. Action key 305 is required. And let's see what Bonko is doing for the ending. Because you say that he's bonking. Yeah.
True. So here he is already like second place. Here is already first again, and then
Jesus Christ.
he goes kaboom into the finish. Just like that. You really wanna have a straight maneuver of your car direction, and then with so much more speed because he went straight like he did. With the side of the car, you want to get hit and then get sent directly to the finish. So it's a bit easier than it actually sounds, but still it takes some practice, I think.
Yeah, I mean, due to the reactor boost, super reactor boost, it's so hard to control that. Yeah, it's you bounce up and it's so hard to control, and you see how close he goes there to the wall. Look how close that is.
Yeah, that's a huge amount of risk here.
Yeah.
Also the part after, I think it was 22 seconds, is the other most important part of the track. I think it teaches you a lot about gear management. So that's important. Also welcome, welcome Vex as well.
Yeah, hello everyone, and also make sure to give Raystar a follow, whether it's on Twitter, on Twitter I'm saying, you also have Twitter though, on YouTube or on Twitch. He is doing great content and also analyzing stuff, so that's really cool. But yeah, I mean the start very straightforward. I'm just quickly gonna go into that before we're gonna go into the part that you were talking about. Just go very far up to hold your gear and not overslide. Then here, action key is required. Then we're gonna go here again, a good turn. Go very far to the left by bumping into the water with a good angle with your nose down. And also don't get yourself an auto slide. And then this turn. I think this turn we were talking about, right?
Yeah, exactly. So here you can actually follow the first place, being Bonko, of course. And that you can see how much better he does his line. I think it was him that did his line much better. So not the jump, the part after the jump, I mean, after the water.
Yeah.
You can see him already like gaining a bit of speed because he did the previous part a bit better. Nothing too big though. But here you can see it, yeah. you can see how he really pushes himself a lot more to the inside, which might look like a mistake, but he still keeps the gear. Now he only makes small taps, and you can see how he overtook 2 players and is already on his way to overtook the other 2 players. So this basically gave him the win already, almost, because these taps make sure not to lose speed for the upcoming parts. And then of course going for the bonk, and the rest is history for our bonko.
But yeah, way different line, better apex that he has chosen. Also opens up his steering here a bit for a small second, so gets himself enough speed. But holding the gear with this angle is so hard, yeah? As you work.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah, it's such a hard gear to hold if you don't like oversteer, because what he did there is actually just pushing the limit, of course getting a better alignment over this part, but also he was just about to drop the gear. I think 1 or 2 kilometers less and he would have dropped his gear. But then of course he had more speed. But also one thing that I would like to talk about is the parts here. If you steer too much in the water bounce, you also get an auto slide. But Bonko's approach here, just look how low he jumps compared to the others. That's also so important for the speed management at the end, that you jump as low as possible here, that you approach from here and don't jump up. You want to use the slope. And look, some people have gotten their airtime, more airtime, and then we have Bonko, being in the blue car, just landing superbly well. You know, one car here, this car, let me actually go into the POV. Oh wait, I have to change the camera. Wizzy is gonna lose so much time because of that. Or like, he doesn't have a good angle, and you can see it. He lost a bit of time, but of course got a good ending. Also bonked into the thingy.
Yeah, I think all the top 5 got a pretty good end. I think not all of them, you can see that going for the bonk. But of course it is faster, also riskier, so it makes more sense. And I have to agree with you. I mean, going not steering too much or too little on the water parts, very important. Like if you oversteer or understeer there, you're gonna get like a massive slowdown, and it's gonna affect like your entire rest of the map. So it's really important not to do that.
Yeah.
But I guess that's all on map 18.
Yeah, I mean, also like, of course, one other thing maybe for the ending. Don't want to touch the penalty sand, but if you don't have the line, or if you have the line for that, it's still fine, because the reactor boost is coming up and we're so close to the ending anyway. And speed doesn't really matter too much at this point, only that you kind of survive it. Like if you have 1 or 2 kilometers less, it doesn't really matter, that's what I mean. And then of course the ending, you know, this is an absurdly fast ending with touch. But let's go to the next map, map number 19 it is, replay editor.
True. And the other, Mika's Kingdom, Ice Track, it's full Ice Track. But also welcome to Electro Boy and Ice Crusher, hello.
So yeah, 19, actually one of my favorite maps from the campaign.
I wish I could say the same.
I really like
I'm not
ice.
an ice player now.
Nah, not, but I kind of enjoy ice, let's say like that. So of course on ice slides are required, but the gear at the start is super weird that you get in. But let's take a look into the run here from Bob, who's behind. But I think the gap's also quite high on this map.
True. Except for the top 2. Top 2 I think are like 200 I mean apart. And then the other top 3 in the top 5, I mean the 3rd, 4th and 5th are half a second apart. You can see that already here.
Yeah, wow.
So it's really Mika and Germo here risking the start, and then Mada, player 343 and Thunder Rob going for a bit of a safer approach, I would say. Or not risking it as much. Also I completely lost it in the end.
Yeah. You lost everything there at the ending. But yeah, I
mean,
mean,
going this career.
There's a lot of things. Like, first of all, the start line. I think it's not necessary, if you go for world record, even, to go for that. I mean, maybe, maybe. But this inside line here, I mean, maybe you have tried it, guys. Inside pole line. This one, it's so hard to nail, because it's so hard to adjust and check out your line, and then also this bump here gets super hard. So I'm not actually never gonna go for that, but hey, if you want to do it, if you're Jermu or Mika.
Just Mika flexing on doing Mika stuff, you know. But very impressive stuff. Very impressive.
That's a good line. And then of course he's just getting the lines across. Very important on ice is that if you're in an ice slide, you want to minimize releasing and also tapping as much as possible. Of course, you have to do that, but Mika is doing like tap, 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 like he's doing very small taps to adjust his line. And it's just so impressive how he can like go into a slide and gets himself so much speed out of that. But he's hardly steering on ice and also hardly like using inputs. It's just impressive, let's say it like that.
True. And also, I think Mika is actually made a mistake here. All of the map, I think he drove pretty much perfectly. Also went for the risk at the start, which is quite amazing. It's really tough to do, like Turbo said. The mistake he did, though, you can see the no jump part. I'm pretty sure Germo did this like much faster.
So fucking
But then Mika got everything back in the end, because Germo did a mistake in the end. So if you could combine, theoretically, both of these lines, you could still go for faster time. So Germo is coming a lot closer, but then he risked the end a lot less than Mika. So Mika is getting everything back.
Could you repeat that again? Because
I just saw the skirt message in the chat. So I'm gonna try. Also, people saying I'm talking too fast. I'm sorry, guys.
And thank you so much, Pantofels, for the resub. Wow.
Yeah, so what I said basically, Mika, I'm gonna make it short this time. Mika is going for a small mistake here on the no jump part. You can see him compared to Germo. Mika did had a lot of airtime there. Germo is getting a lot closer, but then Germo is actually even passing him. I think Germo is passing him even, yeah. And then Mika is getting everything in the end by basically risking everything even more. You can see him getting much closer to both of the walls and sniping it right near the finish. So that's an amazing battle between these two.
Wow. But there again, this small mistake from Mika here really emphasizes how hard ice is. Yeah, look, Mika just made here a small mistake by jumping a bit too far to the left by the looks of it. Yeah, that's what you were probably saying, and then had to adjust it, and also not getting a good landing in general.
It's also the jumping of the left, but more than that, I think the not being close enough to the ramp itself.
Like
he should have released more. I think he should have released more.
True.
Yeah, but that's also it's like anything that comes from that, so that's also correct.
Yeah.
But that is basically map 19.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, look. Jamru is jumping so close there, and look how much a mistake on ice costs you. Like, incredible.
Yeah, also especially before of reactor boost. So now the car acts like even a magnet. So you stick to the ground, so if you have more speed or more acceleration, you're actually gonna keep it. Yeah. But then the end it was not perfect by Germo, so he clearly lost some time there. I think he went for the wallbang strat. But it didn't help him enough in this fight.
Might be a good strategy.
Super close though, super close. Yeah.
Might be a good strategy for matchmaking or something, but this end in general is very hard because it's a very, very rapid ice slide and you can easily slide out. So you have to release a lot there. But yeah, I mean, that's it. Very huge gaps on this map. I think that we're gonna see an improvement, but not by a player like who is not eternal, yeah? I think the player will be either Germu, maybe Mika, Elcon, you know, the ice gods. Yeah?
Yeah, true.
But yeah, everyone...
Also not the most beginner-friendly map, I would say, in the campaign. Like, regardless of ice, many people are good at ice, but even then, this map is, especially the end. The end, I would say, is very difficult, even for really good players. It looks really, really difficult to me. Yeah.
Definitely is.
Like, you have to know exactly when to start it, exactly how much speed can you preserve, not getting into an auto slide, into an overslide, I mean, or underslide. So not too easy to do. Not too easy to do.
Definitely not an easy map. But yeah, guys, give it a try. Ice is fun. And just the lines should also help you. And let's go ahead with map number 20. And I'm quickly gonna grab something to drink because my throat is very sore and I didn't have too much to drink today. I don't know, I just woke up and my throat was super sore today because of probably all of the casting. So I will be right back, and I'm just gonna run the replay and maybe you can already talk about that, and then I'm gonna just jump into that, okay? Wait, I just
okay. I can try. I think you missed. Though technically we could go on with only 2 replays here, I think. Wait, do we have the, yeah, world record is by Jack Ray, so you include the world record. That's good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it again.
Okay, but in the manual, welcome Artifix. and anyone who just joined. Let's go. But yeah, map 20 is a very fascinating map. I think it's very techy in its essence of the map.
Yep.
So the drifts, how you can go close to the walls, when exactly do you want to be precise, because being precise on its own is not enough. You need to know exactly when to be precise. So tricky stuff, guys. But yep, while Turbo is having a drink, I'm gonna try to talk about this map. Entertain you guys a bit, I hope. So here you can see players going for a little wiggle here to try and preserve the speed. Nice stream, Tal. Yeah, so here you try to preserve the speed and then making sure not to oversteer with your car. Try to keep the grip, to keep the speed, especially after that before that reset block. Here you try to go from the outside to the outside once again, and then to the inside to make sure you keep all the speed and grip once again. Here it's actually really advanced. You wanna go for a drift cancel technique, which is quite advanced. And I think I talked a lot about this so far, so Turbo, you can take it from here.
Yeah, nice. My mother also interrupted me, so I'm sorry for that. But I also partially listened to that, so sorry for that, for being AFK. I'm super sorry, but yeah, the start already. Oh my, we get the next raid. We get the next raid from Birdie. Wait, just for you guys. We're gonna do something. So right now we're doing campaign analysis, and we're gonna do this. Yeah, there we go. Hello guys, Birdie, thank you so much for the raid, my man, and make sure to give Birdie a follow. But also, yeah, I'm currently analyzing the campaign with Tal. Yeah, make sure to check out Birdie and also Tal's Club. There we go. Also make sure to give Raystar's Club a follow, guys. And let's go ahead into this one. And thank you guys so much for the support, for the follows and everything. But also give my man Raystar a follow and also Birdie for the generous raid. But yeah, let's talk about the map. They start very important to go up. It's like the same principle as on 17, the dirt map, you know. But again, not steering too much. And you see how close players go and how low the skids, or like how less the skids are. Then here you have a drift turn. You do it very early on to gather yourself a wide line, or like a very good line over this part, a very good apex. Then get the speed over this grass turn, because here you're not slowing down. Yeah, you're not slowing down. Again, over this uphill, not getting yourselves skid marks. Then you steer to the right, minimize airtime here as well. It can be very distracting with a shadow if you actually play that map to nail that line. Then go to the right again, do some grass SDs, and then also very important part here. Go very low, because this turn is quite blind. Not get yourself airtime on this reactor booth, on the free wheel part. And Tal, for me, this drift here was quite difficult.
Yeah, this one is definitely tricky. You have a lot of speed. You need to take it from the outside to the outside and then to the inside. So the line that you need to take is very difficult. The reason you want to do it from the outside to the outside, there's a huge stretch coming up afterwards. So of course you want to have a much better exit speed, so you go from the outside to the outside, but then you have a lot of exit speed, and you want your car to have a lower trajectory, so that you don't travel too much time in the air. So then you want to get lowered again. So then you go for the inside. So this line could take some practice, I think. It's not that easy. Also you need to go for a drift cancel right here, so that you don't keep drifting and just crush walls, unless if you go for the bump, but then you don't finish the run. It's not that good. But I would advise you to actually follow a Jackway here. The battle between Jackway and Arizal, as far as I'm concerned, they drove the map pretty much the same, except for the start. Jackway got like an early lead on the start. You can see him risking the first drifting a lot more, the first drift. But anything else, they went for different lines, yet no one ever gained, because they are driving so much at the same skill level. So here you can see Arizal not getting enough close enough to the outside, also starting it a bit too late, this drift, by what I can say so far. So he already lost a bit of speed to Jackway, but here he kinda stops losing it, and then he tries to, like Turbo said, minimize airtime. So the lines from him and on are pretty much equal. You can see them drifting pretty much at the same time, going for almost the same trajectory even.
Wow.
Going, yeah, exactly, lower down, cancelling the drift around here. Jackway having the upper hand, but Arizal having a better skip here, and then this part of the finish, they're pretty much equal, except for the start. You can showcase the Jackway start, because his start was actually something out of this world. But good stuff, very good stuff.
Well, one thing here, like this one steer movement there from Jackway, you can see it here. Arizal got a really good line, Jackway even got it better, but then he was getting, I think, some airtime. And Arizal is catching up. I think like 300s or something. That is incredible. Like, this small blunder actually almost cost him the world record, even though he drove so good. So the gist on this map is just to nail everything and minimize mistakes as much as possible, because every kilometer per hour matters on this one. Unlike map number 18 it was, with the water bounce, it is really important to have every speed that matters. But yeah, as Tal already mentioned, this start is out of this world. Also the approach here before that part. Maybe he lost a bit of speed there, but getting it back by being faster. You can see 448 versus 444. He's a bit faster in this part. But also Arizal got himself a good line. But yeah, also here the drift. Arizal didn't do it that well. You know, Jake Ray had it really good. But of course then the apex for this drift. He gets so hard. But yeah, what can I say about this drift from Jake Ray? It's incredible. Incredible drift.
You can see actually have a much faster line than Arizal here, because of his line prior. But then I think he got a little bit worse of part here. You can see that also he didn't go for the wiggle part, and then it's pretty much equal again. So they didn't really gain much compared to one another on the other parts of the track, except for the start, like I said earlier. Jake Ray going for the early risky strat, so that's impressive to see. But yeah, that's pretty much anything for this one. Very impressive times already here. Like this is getting closer and closer to the limit, I would say.
True that. I think we have seen, of course, the sub 47 here with a .79. I think like Haskell's time was like about world record on the the first week, something like that, if I was recalling it correctly, or like first days. But like this time is already super fast. We can see the gaps. I mean, .03. Then we have a .0001, then 97, 86, and then a .79. So Jake Ray with a really good time. You know, also .97 is like his third world record and almost .2 away. That is close. That is very, very impressive. So I think we don't see a .6x here. I think a .75 is possible, but this will be a good time. Like, I think also Jake Ray's time could stay until the ending.
Yeah, could very well be. We don't know yet, I think. That would be just gambling. I don't wanna say anything.
Yep.
But you can see his line being so much better at the start. He's going for the early, early drift. Then goes closer to the walls because he has more spin. So we have to go closer to not crush. And then, while still keeping it, he tries to not close it after the upcoming parts on the track. So impressive stuff. But that, I think, would be it, right, for this track.
Yep. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next map here.
The Kingdom of Karian.
Oh.
Map 21. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually a cool map. A very in general the maps, like, we've seen the campaign, like, it's almost halftime. But the campaign is so good. In my opinion, it's the best campaign that we've had. What do you think, Tom?
Could very well be. I did not play it much, I gotta admit. I needed a break from the previous one.
Ah, yeah, true.
But yeah, still cool though. I think normally I tell you to follow maybe 2 or 3 ghosts that are interesting, but for this map specifically, I think the rest would be just to follow Karian. I think he's demolishing everyone here, like, really. Okay, I told him in Discord to stop bullying others. He told me he's not done yet, so that's gonna be interesting to see.
So guys, again, just look at that. .86, then we have a .81, a .80, then a .73. You think like, okay, and then there's Karian, yeah, .63. Why not? That's Karian, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just watch and enjoy. So again, starts quite easy. Just a tap drift to get yourself a line. And also over this part, very important to get that one done. Also here, the auto slide, very important. You can slide very late on here, but then of course this slide gets harder. But let's focus on Karian. Let's just focus on it. I think that's just...
Yeah, and this turn should look familiar to you, by the way, Turbo. This turn exactly is almost the same exact turn like the turn from the previous map.
Yeah,
from the outside to the inside. It looks almost exactly the same.
But you have less
speed. You looked really closely.
Do you?
That's true. You have less speed, but I mean only the essence of the turn, of course.
Yeah. Oh my god, Karian, what doing then?
Just Karian doing Karian stuff, you know, nothing suspicious.
Yeah. He's not done yet. Yeah, I mean, Karian is just arguably the best time attack tech player. Let's say it like that. I'm not sure if a player like Pack or Carl Jr. would actually keep up with him on this kind of stuff. Would be actually super interesting to see.
I'm not sure. The best pairs I know, and I could be very wrong here, but I would say Karian and Kerberos. Perhaps Eddie as well. But really Karian and Kerberos are probably the top players I know from tech.
Yeah, from time attack, right?
yeah, I'm trying to challenge them from time to time. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes not.
Yeah.
But Karen and Kerberos are always like the fastest I see on every tech up. So
Yeah, I
that's really insane.
In competitions, I think that we have Call Junior and Pack being the strongest on tech, but you cannot compare that.
That is true. That is true. But of course, this is very different of a style. It's gonna be tough to compare.
Also, Karin's ending. Look at that. Damn, what a good line.
Yeah, just copy paste this line and that's it. Literally for this map. Normally I tell like things you could improve. You can still improve some things, but yeah, even the start. You can see Karen doing the start differently. If you look closely, you can see him. I saw it right now. He's taking early left so that he can take more to the right, so that he could start drifting less and earlier, so that he gains more speed. It's like so calculated, like you can see it here. So now he's going for the early drift, high tail drift, and then it looks like he has less speed, but he actually has more. And then he starts it from the left, leans to the right, and then takes it from the outside to the outside again. This is such a smart line. That's like a 300 IQ stuff line. Very smart line. You can see how he's in front already after one turn.
Yeah,
just one turn. That's all it takes.
He's so inside here, right?
Yeah, that's all it takes for him. One turn to be in front of anyone. That's sick.
But this turn gets so hard then. This turn here is so hard. But you can see the difference here. I think that's the best point where you can see the difference. Like it's a combination of less distance traveling and also getting a better approach for this line here. Because with that line, this drift also gets so much harder. You can see how more inside the people are, but Karin can travel way more speed throughout this corner and gets himself a better alignment. And you can see Karin more speed, extending his lead. Of course, there's also Megorian, who had a very good start. I think that's Megorian, right? Yeah. But
true. It looks like he's gonna be faster here, but he's not really, because now he's going too far to the outside.
Yeah.
And Karen knows that he shouldn't do that. So it's really like the mix of all of the good lines. But Megorian is also not to be avoided here or ignored. He's also a very fast player. He's also clearly challenging Karen.
Yeah, but
here.
again, like those small differences that you see here. Also, like Megorian jumping here, Karin getting a way wider line, gets the perfect apex for this turn, getting the speed, and Megorian, of course, gets it really good, goes very inside, coming back, you know? But then, of course, Karin is still ahead and gets a better approach on this part. So Megorian comes closer, but every time when he comes closer, Karin already has like ace of spades in his pocket, you know? Every time when he comes closer. Incredible stuff. Also here the flow trick from Karin, jumping earlier with his left wheel, accelerating earlier. Of course, then this turn also
and doing a tilt also. Also the tilt there to land sooner. That's impressive.
Damn. Very cool map, actually. And also here, jumping into that, minimizing airtime. I mean, Megorian is keeping up. I think he can actually beat Karin here on this one if he adjusts his line, but it's just... the lines are so hard to do, literally.
True. And I think we missed a trick before that. Not exactly a trick, but an insight, I would say. More of an insight. You could see around, I think it was here, yeah. After, like the next turn after this one. You could see Karen getting speed and it looks like where did he get it? But the thing is, he's here with the drift. Wait, was this turn though? Ah, no, it was way before, I forgot. It was way before, sorry. But anyhow, there is the turn that when you see Karen like starting to gain speed over anyone else, and you can wonder like why does it happen? The thing is, sometimes in Trackmania it's better to release sooner or drift sooner, a lot sooner, so that you start gaining speed sooner. So it's not anywhere around here. It was like 20 seconds at least before, I think, and it's calculated by me. But
this maybe.
You could see Karen going for it.
You mean?
Yeah, the one before that. The one before that.
This one?
Oh yeah. I looked on the chat instead of the Discord. So yeah, this one exactly. You can see Karen having less speed to begin with, so he has to drift less.
Yeah.
So he has to drift less. He carries way more speed because of that. So that's also something that you should keep in mind. That's also very true. It's a bit more advanced, but if you are going to go for at least the better times, the potentially world record pace, that's definitely stuff you need to know, especially if you compete versus someone as experienced as Karen here. So
it's just incredible that Karen has a different line in every drift. That's so impressive. Like, you might not see it, but Karen has a different line everywhere compared to Megorian here. You know, Megorian starts drifting here earlier. You know, comes closer, has more speed, but then he gets airtime. Karin gets a better apex here. Also with that less speed into this turn, you can see Megorian catching up. But as you said, due to less speed, it's Karin getting a better line over this one, has more speed again. Yeah, then he gets a good line here again with a flow trick. Of course, you cannot do things different there. I mean, maybe the approach from Karjan there, very far to the left. But then here as well, over this part, jumping into that, going very far to the right. Also, one important thing, you see the bounce from Megarian. Yeah, you see this bounce. This costs some time. And Karjan is approaching it from here. Wait. There we go. We see Karjan hardly getting any airtime. Yeah, not bumping. Very important as well. Not steering a lot on the grass, actually getting speed out of that. And this is how he also lost a bit of time. And then also the ending from Karjan. Very nicely executed. Goes way wider here to get himself a good apex. You can see Megarian catching up again, but having more speed over this part. And then just zooping it into the ending, risking it out. And just a good run and great lines from Karjan.
True. Karjan is really rocking this one. I think some lines by Megarian are a bit underrated at the moment. I think.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they are.
I think he did pull up a good fight.
It looks
true. He did pull up a good fight, and also this exact drift that we just saw. I think Megarian did do it better though, but the exit speed he handled it pretty poorly for the next one. But he did this drift I think a bit better though. So there's still room for improvement here, but yeah, good luck trying to beat this close to perfection run already. So that's not gonna be easy to do, of course. Also, an amazing release part here by Karjan and all the others as well. Very good stuff.
I mean, it's not that I'm shit talking on Megarian. Just the Karjan lines are so hard to get through and think about them. I would also go for the lines from Megarian, but Karjan's lines are just on another level, as you've already mentioned beforehand as well. So yeah, wow. What a time from Karjan, and I think Megarian can beat him also with his lines, yeah? I think so.
Could very well be, but he would need to definitely risk a bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we covered this track pretty much like the entirety of this one. Keeps to 22. I think it's another dirt grip type of track.
Yeah.
If I can recall. By the way, meanwhile you do it, I think I made before like a document that describes how to take like any single track in the game. If you want to share it with your viewers later perhaps. Like for this fall maps, I did it pretty lightly. So it's only like words, so it's not really, you know, pictures and stuff. I didn't edit it. It's only like a script. But if you want to share it, I think some people would definitely, I mean, maybe like to see that. So
yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can definitely do that, my man. That's a good idea. So we have 22 being a dirt map, also a very unique dirt map with water bounces. And well, I think this is more of the more complex maps. Also, the water bounces being so important. And I've already analyzed this turn here to the left a bit and was thinking, because Wills, you know, you wanna I had the question to myself. Do you want to drop the gear here or not? You know, but you don't want to.
Yeah, I don't think you want to. I don't think you want to.
But it's so hard.
True. I think there are, from what I saw, there are 3 main vital points on this track. You can see, I almost called them Tink Winky. You can see a Winky face going for all of the 3 vital spots. So one is after, I think it was 11 seconds. One is after, I think I saw it at 23 seconds, and one is after 35 seconds. Basically, yeah, this one here, you can see him, you can actually show it half speed, exactly. So he's steering less, you can maybe even show it a bit sooner, so that we can see where it comes from. He steers less, yeah, exactly, steers less way sooner. And then you can see him, because he steers less, and only do like small taps, gentle taps, you can already see him getting so much more speed compared to everyone else basically on the map. So that's basically free time for you if you just play it and now you know this trick of steering less here. Look at that, it's basically free water weapon now.
How much speed is that? Holy
yeah, this is basically free. And then 23 with 23 seconds, I think he's doing the same. Like going for the outside, I think it was. So yeah, again, very gentle steering. He really doesn't steer much. He steers the least he can do. Yeah, exactly. And then of course he goes to the outside the first time he can. Make sure he's the most traveling the most over that outside part. Carries as much speed as he possibly can, and then he moves on. And then of course he does the same thing once again after I think it was 35 seconds. I don't think he did it as well, like as good as the others. He did steer too much. I think he almost lost his first place, if I can recall. but then he comes strongly nice in the end, by again not steering too much. So basically this whole track is trying to teach you steer less on dirt. That's like the main core of this track, which he does very well. And of course the wiggle in there, that's true.
Yeah, interesting take there. I didn't see the less steering there, and that's so impactful. You covered the start pretty nicely there. Let's actually follow Insanity here, who actually also got it quite well, you know, also catching up a bit. Then of course you want to steer here, get yourself less airtime. What's really important is that you gear up and don't steer again, yeah?
Yeah, true.
Don't lose the gear. Very, very nice.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Oh,
that was beautiful from Insane. Yeah, that was Insanity indeed.
Wow. What a line. So you can hold the gear there indeed, but you can also go for a more inside approach and lose the gear. That is also fine. But what is important here, you can release here a bit to adjust your line. Also hold the gear here, and then we had an interesting trick at the end, yeah? Lowering, getting less airtime there. And it worked out quite well. It didn't really save too much. But might be a safe way for you to adjust the next turn, yeah? This might be good. Yeah, also the small wiggle there that we've seen on this third piece. I think that's also something that we can focus on. I think you can also gain a little bit of time with that, but not too much.
True. And of course, between the plastic parts, you need a very specific line in which you pass from one plastic part to the other. Not exactly plastic, I don't know how to call this surface, but whatever that surface is, you need to do it in a very specific way, right there. But that's pretty much 22. 22 is a pretty straightforward track compared to the others. Only like dirt and a few simple tricks, trying not to steer too much, too heavily. Of course, not ruining the end, but perhaps going for that little wiggle trick, small taps. But that is it, right? I think.
Yeah. Only this release there is just obscuring with your... Like, I think the release is the only part that you have to remember, and then everything will come after you play the map, and just the gears and stuff like that. Just steer as little as possible, and you will be good on this map. And also use action keys for the water bounces. That's it.
True.
Okay.
Perhaps we should move on to track 23, I believe.
Yeah, a map with a cut.
True. So we said every good campaign must have an ice track, a dirt track, a tech track, and apparently a cut track as well.
Yeah.
So that is 23, guys.
Map 23. Edit. Yeah, I mean, don't oversteer. It's like hard. It's sounding contradicting that you don't want to steer but wiggle. But yeah, you want to not oversteer, but also you want to steer. You know?
True. And also for wiggle, you need a very specific speed. I saw that comment here. And also the one by Safari, Karen pretty good at this game. I think I agree. I think he's pretty good at the game. Yeah, you know, winning the 2009 World Cup. I think he's fine.
Yeah, he's okay.
I think he's decent. He's decent, yeah.
He will be good someday.
Yeah, maybe. Decent stuff.
Yeah, so
here, again, we see plastic. You really want to steer like really gently, if any. Sometimes you don't even want to steer. And then, again, small drifts only, so that you keep the speed. And then maybe you can talk about this part a bit. This jump. It's very interesting here.
I already did coaching on this map, excessive coaching on this map. Firstly, the cut. I'm quickly gonna show that and go into the full run. There's the wicked cut, obviously you can bounce. Yeah, oh my god, look at this backwards finish. That was so close. But...
style points.
So yeah, start. You were talking about it. Like, the start here is straightforward. Just go into a drift, get this line across, go outside, and as you said, don't steer as much as possible on the plastic. Don't get yourself airtime, yeah, and get yourself a good alignment of this drift also to the triangle. You can do a double or like a slide into a neo slide here. I think that's the best way to get yourself an angle. Then here, don't lose your gear, don't drop into third gear. And now you need a very certain angle and a certain amount of speed. And the jump is quite blind. You might not think it's so blind, but the trees are really obscuring with that. Yeah, but you can see how close you jump. This jump is not easy, to be honest. I tried it.
It is very difficult. It is very difficult. You need to be tilted. You need to aim to the right. You need to be between the trees. You need to have a very specific setup and speed.
And so, also don't clip this one here.
Yeah. And also don't clip it. So it's like 6 things you need to take care of in like less than a second. It's very tough to do.
Yeah. Then here, you can get an auto drift. I always said that. You want to steer in, for everyone who's struggling with that all the time, it's important to steer in on this last thingy. Just full steer, get yourself a line and continue the drift. Very important. Get yourself the speed on this uphill. You can also not slide it, as you might have seen that by Kaio, but I think he just went safe and just released. And then of course the cut. Yeah, well, the map has not been ruined by the cut, but the cut is of course not easy to do. Let's say it how it is. I would actually slide here instead of going for that line from him. He kind of lost a bit, because then you have a lot of speed to work with, and I would go for a slide there, as I think Anix has a really, really good run on this map also regarding the cut. So you can see here very inside, going like that, boom, here, don't clip that corner, very important, you can go over it a bit, but if you're on the plastic, I hate this ending. This part is super bad, because I'm always approaching from the right, and you want to be so far on the left here and get yourself a good line, because of course your car is very slippery on plastic. Don't want to hit this thing, don't want to drop the gear, and then also jump into that one. Very, very hard jump to do, because it's also a bank block, and then of course the ending, yeah, well.
Yeah, it's a tricky map, and of course it wasn't meant to be cutted, so the cut is also kind of awkward, I would say. Yeah. Like, you need such a specific line, you need, like, first of all, this map starts with side ramp, but that's less important for your time. There are 3 ways I think you could improve your time that are like super important. I mean, of course the old track is important, but the whole of the track. But cut is the most important part here. Then this part, I would say, like that jump here between the trees, and also before that you saw the double drift. So I think you spectated the 5th place. So the last player here, I think he actually did a mistake there. You really wanna start that early. You wanna do that second drift early. If you're gonna do it too late, you're gonna have to drift too much, or have way less speed coming to the exit. You can already see Anix getting farther and farther away. That's because it's a mistake, it's not how you should take it. You really wanna start it a lot earlier, so that you do it less of a drift and carry more speed. That's important.
And you can see he also he could also not go for the cut line there. Yeah, you know, the player who did it the worst, Kaio. I mean, it was still a good run, else it would not be in the top 5, right? And I think he's even top 4 with that. But you can see how conservative his approach was. This drift, you mentioning it, he drifted way too late, got a very, very bad apex. You can see at Haskell how good he did that. And then he had to release here. Look how awkward this line is and how much speed he lost. Important line you were mentioning there, losing 0.2 of a second at least. Yeah, also with a landing here, losing the gear. Just getting a terrible line over this one. Can go for this one full speed, yeah, but also releasing here to...
But he had a good cut though. I think he climbed 1 position with a cut from 5th to 4th. So at least we have that. So the cut is kinda... Yeah. He overtook the reverse guy. So the cut is pretty awkward, especially because, like I said, it's not meant to be this cut, so of course it saves time. But as it's not meant to be, the fastest way apparently that players found so far is crushing the side of the car into that block, trying to sway your car into the direction of to the finish. So it's a very specific setup. It's really tough to do. I don't think anyone did it even perfectly, because it requires like a very specific setup, and players just focused on the other parts of the track. But complicated stuff. Very complicated map. Not easy. Yeah, that would be it, I think.
Yeah, definitely a hard map. I like this one actually. But there's a cut. But I think if you get the approach, you can get it. You can learn it. This jump looks hard though. This jump looks super hard because you don't know when you lift off. Yeah, and when you adjust your line. But if you get that one, it probably feels good. And then of course you need to be lucky at the ending. But yeah, straightforward map. I think we've spotted the most important things. And also hello to Mayo. Hello. And how are the runs compared to the non-cut runs? I would say they are a bit behind because you want to just try the cut. You still want to get a good run, but you can see how the range is from 1st to 5th. You don't need a perfect run for world record here.
True. Though I think Einix still got a good run.
Yeah,
I think Einix got a good run. Though especially for Einix, I think his end was not the best. He could have done it a bit better. But yeah, you can also see I think 4th and 5th place here are going. I told you need to be aiming to the right and going for the cut between the 2 right trees. I think they actually went for the 2 middle trees.
So Haskell went for that, yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually a bit slower. It's safer, but it's also slower. Because then you travel to Hyder and then... yep.
Yeah, you slow down a lot on the penalty grass, yeah.
Exactly. And
But
on
yeah.
the plastic, of course. Yep.
Oh, damn, but that was still good. That was still a good cut by Haskell. He almost
True.
flipped though, but still a nice cut. Maybe
I
he...
think actually maybe a flip to a grass slide, you know? I think a flip to a grass slide could be even faster. Or like a nosedive. Nosedive to the yeah, nosedive to the finish. So do like a nose forgot how the bug is called. But basically
bug.
with the nose of the car, just the nose bug, yeah. So just nose bugging into the ground with the car tilting down, which is a bit tough, and then perhaps that could shoot you farther to the finish and faster. But this looks really tough for me to do.
Oh, Haskell unfortunately air braked here. Look at this air brake.
Yeah,
He air braked
unlucky.
here. Imagine he didn't air brake because his car rotated quite good for a good landing. You see it, and then he air brakes so awkwardly. Ah, damn. You see what I
Yeah,
mean?
but then maybe he would have too much speed though, and then he couldn't take left or not hit that finish or that thingy there on the finish. I don't know how that thing is called that
Yeah,
you can
true.
hit before the finish line.
I would love to have those inputs and try it out because I think he kind of lost it with that. With this a little bit late air brake, it would have been better. But hey, still a good run. Let's go to the next map. And yeah, this cut is random. You have to adjust and adapt at the end. So of course, not really an error that he did. It's just a thing that I have noticed here. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the second.
We're getting into the two last maps, so that is gonna be a lot of tougher and higher level right now, I would say.
Yeah, 24, my favorite campaign map.
Yeah. Also, I see my teammates hopping this campaign, so nice to see. I see Rotaker, Inex here, and Arizal. That's impressive.
Yeah, also Karyan in here. Okay. Kerberos
Yeah,
as well.
well placed. Right in the middle of the pack. Though I think Kerberos had a much superior line here. If you look on his line and the next line. Like I analyzed it sooner today, prior to the stream. I think Kerberos is doing the map like pretty much almost perfectly, except for one specific turn. There was one turn when we lost like tons of speed, I would say, but anything else is really like copy paste from Kerberos, guys. Really fast lines.
Oh, Nexo, interesting line there. But this one is really cool. I mean, 25 was usually the RPG map that we've had, and this one is also pretty nice. Also, the ramp cut here, you can do that. You don't have to. It's more risky, but of course then it's harder to control, especially if you have a lot of speed. Then here at the end, hold the gear. Yeah, on the dirt, go very wide. I think the ending is quite fast forward.
Yeah,
Not
also
really.
tough to do. You know the boost really push you aside. You need to stay within the middle part. May look easy, it's not that easy, but after some practice, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see Kerberos here already crushing it after only one turn. Like after the side ramp, he's
Wow.
already miles ahead. That's actually Karen, but yeah. So yeah, he's already miles ahead. Then doing this little trick, the jump is getting it so much better. Then he goes for a small release, which may look like a mistake, but it's not, because it threatens him up much better to the drift. You can see him getting everything back. Then this also looks like a mistake, because he's
But it
going too wide,
doesn't.
but also he cuts the grass, but he doesn't because he goes for less distance, so it also makes sense. And here, that's a mistake here, I think he went for. After 40 seconds, I think that is not the correct line. He went too far from the left. I think you should take it more from the right. I would pretty sure take it more from the right, and then carry on with much more speed. I think Nexo really
mean
caught
here?
up a lot. Yeah, I think it was here, where Nexo caught up like a lot compared to him. So you can see him, it looks like he's slower, but right now Nexo is getting from the outside. You can see how
Yeah.
closer he gets. That's insane, so it's definitely a mistake here. Definitely a mistake. But anything else that he did is really impressive. He almost lost the lead, you can see that, with Nexo going super straight near the finish.
Monkey
And also
button.
Kerberos, yeah, exactly, clutching it. But so still some room for improvement here, definitely. But very nice lines, especially by the top two, by Nexo and Kerberos here. That's impressive.
I think the most that you can really get out of this map is either this line here, because I think Nexo had a really good line. Or who was that? No, Rearhax had a really good line over this part here. Like the ramp cut on this one. I think you can like catch up a lot with that. Like look how much speed he gained with that. And also good alignment. Maybe this turn gets really hard, but I think there is so much room on this map. But this map is so hard to pull off. Especially
True, I
with
think-
also the ending being done. So Karin has a 0.0 now.
Yeah, the ending is difficult. I think Karen went for like a good time, like a 2-2-2 or something. 2-2-3, yeah, I remembered.
Wow.
So close stuff. I think you could easily, not easily, but you could technically, in theory, improve your like half a second or something like that.
Yeah, not easily, but...
Oh wait, Karen broke the world record. Karen
Yeah.
has .053 now.
When did you break it?
Definitely today, because I gave you replays for
An
today.
hour ago, yeah.
An hour ago, yeah. That explains it.
Yeah, guys, we're not up to date. Shame on us.
Yeah, imagine that.
Damn.
Okay, so Karen listen to the lines and then good stuff, good stuff. Also, are you familiar with the Easter egg on this map?
No?
There was an
the
Easter
Easter
egg.
egg, yeah, I've seen that actually.
Yeah, there is the scenery Easter egg here. If you climb over the scenery and play it like an RPG map and get onto the top of the map, you can get into a specific location when you see a virtual picture in the game, so that's also nice.
Where was that again? Where could you enter it? It was
I
from...
can't exactly remember, but you can also find it on YouTube. Can't
Was
remember
here.
exactly the... Yeah, it was somewhere you need to drive like a very precise line over the scenery itself. So that's really clever, like making the scenery so that you need to climb it and make it into an RPG type of map. Good idea. I love this creativity in the game.
Yeah, where was it? From engine off. Okay, engine off. Okay. Let me check.
I've got no clue, so that's up to you.
Okay, engine off. Yeah. Huh? It was in some, like, in some thingy in here. Hello? Ah, here, there we go. Okay, so how do we actually get in here? How do you get in this thing? The grass. So you jump from here to here, and here's the Easter egg. Like, if you go into here, you have the virtual picture.
But you need to get here with your car, like
Yeah.
not with camera. You
Exactly,
only need to
with
do
your
it with
car.
your car. Yeah.
So how do you have to, like, from where do you actually come here? The grass.
It's been like a month ago since players discovered it. So, can't remember though, gotta be honest.
Ah, I think I see. So you have this part. Wait, what the hell? Like, you have to go up here and then drop there. Interesting, but how do you get onto there? Dude, I don't know. There's a
you
YouTube
do a
video.
U-turn. I think you do a U-turn and then you try your best not to die and you know, to land properly, and then
from here. I think you go from here to there. Yeah, go up here. Then you go and jump on this thingy. Yeah. Go onto this one. Boom.
yeah, exactly.
But then, no, you cannot do
Looks
it from
like
there.
this.
Oh, no,
Looks
you
like
can.
this.
No, wait. Can't drive on here. Maybe you go the other way around then. Ah, okay, then like this. Boom. Drop onto there. Boom. Go in here. Bam. Go up. Yeah. That's the way. That's the way. And then go here. Yeah, that's the way. Okay.
Yeah, but of course it's not that easy to pull off.
Yeah, it's not that easy. It is definitely not that easy.
Clever stuff.
Yeah. Clever stuff.
And
Okay.
we are getting into the final track.
Okay, let's go. Final map, 25 we have. Yeah, a remake from Trackmania Turbo.
True. Track 200.
Yep. Did you like Turbo?
Was a cool game. I enjoyed the solo. I did not play the online much. I think the online was not that good though. But I did like the solo. I did enjoy the solo. I think it was really, really good. Also the best solo, like in terms of maps. I mean, 200 maps. Really, really much efforts put into this. So that's nice. Also really diverse. You know, you have stadium, you have canyon, valley, lagoon. Good stuff.
Yeah. Very cool
Okay,
map.
getting into the final maps.
Yes.
Final map indeed.
So I think we can talk a lot about this because it's a remake, but of course there's some differences because this plastic bounce, boom, different. And then we have this drift, of course, also being not that easy to do. Can always result into a no slide. You have to probably neo slide on this one. Also here, get yourself not a line or not a slide and exit very far outside onto that by not releasing this zigzag. Very important if you want to go for the world record. Then here, jump very low. Then you have the looping section, which is very hard with voice commands, copium. Yeah, and then do a drift beforehand to slow down and get yourself the line. Yeah, then jump into the booster, and we can see Gwen actually catching a bit up, but you just want to preserve your speed at the ending. So that's how this map is. It's not really too much happening on this map, let's be honest. But the parts that are there are not easy, especially the jump at the start, where you want to align your car up, not get airtime, and then also this huge jump where you want to minimize airtime as much as possible by releasing very, very much and jump very low into that.
Yes, exactly. So it's not an easy map to do. I think times here are really not close to the limit. You can improve a lot here in this map. I think all the players in the top 5 made like plenty of mistakes, honestly, specifically for that one. But it makes sense because it's the last track. It's been only a month so far, not 3 months, so it's still time to go. Perhaps they didn't give everything they have. And also the map is really tough. Even here, you can see here how close you needed to go to that pole, so to that 3-pole stuff. So you really need to go and maximize your route and your speed, which is not easy to do. Also the finish here, you saw that you need to take to your right and kind of like break before that. I think Haskell, the first place, lost a lot of time in the end because he didn't do it properly. Like second place is Trackmania, you can see him getting a lot closer to him here in the end. I mean in the part before that, of course. The part when you need to brake and then turn to your right.
Yeah.
So Haskell is first place, he kinda saved the start. Here he did the best though. That part he did so much better than others. The tilt part, he tilted his car really a lot. And then he landed with a better drift. So he could risk it, go much farther to the...
Right.
Yep, you can see him. So here I would actually spec like Haskell with the... Yeah, so you can see the tilt, then yeah, exactly, going for the drift. Such a better drift than anyone else. You can see the outcome exit speed is so much faster than anyone else. Also going much riskier here over the poles. So far he's on the roll. Then low wall ride, super good stuff. But then here he does make a mistake though. Still first place, but here you need to slow down and you wanna take it from the left to the right. So you can see Jean Rene coming so much closer, even passing Haskell temporarily. Though Haskell had more of the boosters, so he's gonna get it back. But I think this is still far from the limit though. I think this could be broken very much soon, I would say. This map.
But yeah, I mean, you were mentioning it, and good point actually. Haskell with a very poor line there. But of course he's coming back because he lands a bit earlier. But Jean-René with the Haskell line would have been so far ahead, would be a good world record. But yeah, there's still a lot of things that he can do from the start. You know, just dropping onto there, maybe getting a bit of a better line over this part, and by the jump, of course, it's only a couple of hundreds that he can save. But I think the biggest time saver is this one here. Yeah, you know, you can get some ridiculous jump, but here's also where it really makes or breaks. You get to see Jean-René with a nosedive, and also the first one being actually Bloods here. No, Phoenix. So Phoenix also with a good run.
His landing was beautiful actually. Yeah. Right there. Good. Perfect speed outcome. But here they kinda didn't get it as good. You can see it.
Yeah, still a good round though. But again, Haskell had a really good mid part. Probably the best mid part that we have seen. Then we of course had Phoenix with the best ending, with the best start, and then Thomas Joe with the best ending. So if you would combine those things, interesting line there as well. Look how much he jumped there and how much he lost. Damn. Wow.
Yeah, also he did too much tilt even. So I said like you need to go for more tilt. That was a bit too much tilt. But even with that, you can see it still pays off. He's still coming closer. Not close enough, but he did gain time in that.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know why some of them go for a break in the start. It doesn't, or a release. It does not look faster to me at all, I would say. Yeah. Perhaps it is somewhat safer, or maybe it helps you skip the engine off. So that could be a bit more consistent. Maybe that's why. I did not play this track, but maybe. Just, you know, speculating here. But good stuff. Still very good times, of course. I'm talking about mistakes and potential lines in a very long and difficult track. So, of course, stuff could be improved, but still very nice times. It needs to be said, you know.
You, of course, also take lines that are just comfortable for you, right? Not lines that are particularly fast, because you know that this jump is really important for you, yeah? This jump to this one here, for example, and also the quarter pipe or half pipe jump. You know, that's where you really gain up the time. You want to be consistent, but I think both lines are working out. This release line and the braking line on this part before the half-pipe jump. I've actually tried that one out, and yeah, it's definitely a very nice map to play. Also has an Easter egg, yeah.
Yeah, true. Noted that.
I really like this one. I really like this map. Probably also a map that I will hunt at the end. I hope that.
Yeah, it's a good. it's a good last map. I mean, we always like the last map to be a kind of a platform-based map.
Yeah.
So this definitely sure has lots of jumps and you know, maneuvers to pull off. So good stuff. Good stuff. I like this one. I mean, the bump with the I don't know. Feels like nadeo is trying to do nadeo stuff, but all the other stuff are. I mean, this is pretty good. It's a decent last track. I like it. Also, the fact that it's remake. We don't have much remakes this season. So yeah, I like it. Good stuff.
Yeah, true that. Not a lot of remakes. But a 105, 1:05 is definitely possible on this map. I cannot.
I would say even much better even.
Maybe even 0.4. Yeah, good map. I really like this one, and should also help us to get the STM on 200 maybe. Yeah, good map. Also hard STM to beat, and a good last map to round it off. For me, the best campaign. Yeah. I hope that I can hunt it and I can go back with Pat Gaming in a sec, or like after my cast is getting removed.
Yeah, feel well by the way. That's like I said, it's one so hope you feel well.
Yeah, I feel well, bro. How are you doing
though? Same.
That's nice. Very nice. So I mean, that's kind of it here from the campaign analysis. Yeah, 1 hour and 10 minutes. We talked about the campaign, about the 10 last maps. If you guys have anything to add it in the comments or just write it in the Twitch chat. And now the stage is yours, Tal. What are you doing on your channel? And make sure to give him a follow as well.
Thanks. I mean, I could definitely go on for hours, you know me, regarding these facts, but I try to keep it a bit simple, yet still somewhat in-depth, you know, so that all of us can learn how to take some of these lines better. I will definitely publish or let you publish. I think I'll let you publish the thing I wrote about every single track. Perhaps someone wanna read it later about a specific track, what should they do to drive it better. So that, I mean, I already wrote it for prior to the stream, so why not take use of that?
Yep.
And then, yeah, pleasure to be here once again, Turbo. Thank you for hosting me.
Yeah, thank you so much also again for the idea, and we're doing it, I think, like for the 4th time already, this analysis. It's so much fun. I really like it, and I hope you guys could also learn something from that. It's really cool to have that, and also like someone who is very knowledgeable about the game. Of course, I'm also knowledgeable, but you can, like, I'm more of the theory person, you know? I have the theory in my mind, but the practical part is like, is displayed with you. Being first also has released your video, yeah, with being
he's being humble. He's being humble. I think he's also good on the practical side. Come on.
Nah, I know.
that's like the Mark Chu saying, I'm bad at this game. Like, he's playing for you and he's crushing COTDs. Come on, man. I don't think I'm gonna call it bad. That's
I could be better. Let's say like that. I could be better, mates.
Technically, we all could. We all could do better. That's the game teaches you a lot. Yeah, the game teaches you a lot more about self-improvement first and foremost.
Yeah.
Even regardless of how you compare yourself to others.
True.
So that's something to keep in mind, I think. But yeah, thank you once again for having me here, and till next time.
Yeah, till next time. Thank you very much, and have a good one.
Yep, bye-bye. You too. Enjoy the stream. Bye bye.
Okay, there we go. That was the campaign analysis with Raystar. Guys, really, make sure to give Raystar a follow, really. He is doing God's work, not only when it comes to hunting, but also entertaining you guys. So make sure to give him a follow. And yeah, we're gonna play Icy Fall now.